Hey everyone! Welcome back to Xaynew Stories, and this is Am I the Cheeks Wednesdays.
They said I need to move back because my dad divorced his new wife. Am I the A for not moving back in with my dad just because he got divorced? Hosen Kobold writes, my mom passed away when I, 16F, was just a baby. My aunt, my mother's sister, stepped in and became like a second mother to me. When I was 8, she moved away for work, so I went from seeing her every day to flying out to see her 1 to 2 times a month, plus 1 week during winter break, 1 week during spring break, and splitting the summer 50-50. When I was 12, my dad remarried Judy, and they kept saying she was my new mom and that I didn't need to keep visiting my aunt because I had Judy now. He also gave my room to Judy's kids since it was bigger. I refused to share and I told my aunt that they had decided I couldn't fly alone. So she either had to fly back out to get me or drive all the way there and back. A few months after my dad married Judy, I decided to stay with my aunt because it became pretty obvious that he cared more about his new family than me. Now my dad and Judy are getting a divorce because Judy cheated on him, and he found out that their kids weren't his. He called me and asked me to move back home because he misses me and says he doesn't have any family left. I said no because I like it here. My aunt is much better parent than my dad ever was. She's been dating this guy who comes over on weekends and makes the best burgers and steaks, and he fixes up cars as a hobby and a side job. He's even working on one just for me. I also like my school. I have friends here and we're close to a lot of good colleges, so I probably won't even have to move away for college. My dad and his side of the family are upset that I won't move back because he's my dad and he needs me. But he's the one who chose his new family over me, and their divorce isn't my problem to fix. I don't really plan on changing my mind, but I want to know, does refusing to move back make me the cheeks? I'd give you 0 out of 10 cheeks, OP. It's your life and you deserve to live how you see fit. Also for me, I feel like it's best to move away from toxic people so that your mental health wouldn't suffer in the long run. She invited my ex to my birthday party after I said I wanted no contact. I turned off my phone. Story number 2 is, am I the A for skipping my own surprise birthday party once I found out it wasn't really for me? Unknown Lee 0x writes, I've never been big on birthdays. Don't get me wrong, I don't hate them, I just prefer something low-key. Dinner with my closest friends, maybe watching a film, something small. Everyone close to me knows this, especially my sister. Let's call her Maya. Maya loves big gestures and believes every birthday or achievement needs balloons, a theme, and much, much more. 2 weeks before my birthday, Maya started acting strange. She kept asking if I'd be free that Saturday and acted weird whenever I asked why. I suspected she was up to something, so I told her again that I didn't want a party. She just laughed and said, as usual, I was being no fun. A couple of nights ago, the night before my birthday, one of our mutual friends accidentally let it slip that there was a party. She mentioned what she was wearing. Anyway, it turns out the whole family was invited, and it was at our parents' house. Some co-workers were invited too, but here's the kicker. My ex was there. For context, my ex and I broke up about 2 months ago. It ended pretty badly. There was no abuse or cheating, but it wasn't pleasant. I've made it very clear to everyone in my life that I want no contact. Maya knows this. Still, she's told me multiple times that I should just get over it because he's a nice guy and has been part of our lives for years. The first thing I did was call Maya, demanding answers. She didn't deny it. She just said this would be our chance to finally talk everything out. She admitted that she had not thrown the party just for my birthday. She also wanted everyone to see my ex again and for us to fix things between us. She literally told me I'd thank her later. I was furious. I told her she had no right, that I would have been ambushed on my birthday, and this was after I had specifically said that I didn't want a big party in the first place. She said I was being dramatic and ungrateful, that she had planned this whole thing because I wouldn't find someone better, and it was a good gift. She said everyone had bought gifts and traveled a long way, that everyone was excited. So yesterday on my birthday, I completely powered off my phone and didn't tell anyone except my best friend. We went out for lunch and took a walk together. I actually ended up having a great day. When I got back home, I turned my phone back on. It was mental. Maya was fuming. People were disappointed. Some even said I embarrassed her. Now, Maya is saying I ruined the whole party and made it all about me, which is ironic because it was literally my birthday party. She says she did it out of a good place in her heart and that I should at least apologize for not showing up or letting people know. So, Reddit, am I the cheeks? Honestly, OP, I'm giving you 0 out of 10 cheeks. You shouldn't go to a place where you're not respected. That's good for you, especially when you're over your ex. Aya was very out of line to do what she did to you. Next story is, am I the A for seeking a new bank account without telling my mom after a significant loss of money? User Throwaway writes, Hi guys, I'm using a throwaway account for this and I've never posted here before. A couple of years ago, I, 19M, received around 7,000 from my grandmother. I was about to start college and she wanted to help me set up for success. I didn't work during high school because my parents wanted me to focus on academics, which paid off since I graduated as a valedictorian of my class. Because of that, I never had direct access to my own bank accounts. Whenever I had cash or check deposits, my mom, 49F, would deposit them into a joint savings account that she said belonged to me. Fast forward a year and I was ready to open a checking account so I could start paying for my own expenses. My mom came with me to the bank and suggested to the employee that we keep the joint savings account the way it was. The employee agreed and I finally had my own checking account. When I checked the savings account balance, there was only 1,000 left. My mom had often told me she needed to dip into it a little and would pay me back, and I always trusted her. I had no idea the balance had gotten that low. A few months later, my beloved 1999 Mercury Grand Marquis finally broke down for good. My mom's side of the family was very pushy about me getting a new car. I wasn't convinced, but I eventually gave in after being told I wouldn't have to cover the full payment, which is about $900 per month. My grandmother on my dad's side and my dad gave me another generous $7,500 to help me get started, and my granny and pops, my mom's parents, put down about $3,000 on the car as well. This month, my granny and pops informed me that the money from my grandmother and dad had run out, and I would need to start contributing again. I've been consistently searching for a job, checking job boards daily, and going to interviews, but since I didn't work during high school, I haven't had much luck. I've been doing DoorDash, but aside from that, I don't have steady income. Recently, I received a financial aid refund from my college, about $2,000. I wanted to treat the love of my life to a nice Valentine's Day, so I set some money aside for the daily expenses and planned to transfer more money for Valentine's Day plans. I knew I'd need a decent amount for what I had planned, but I didn't think it was excessive. However, I had to ask my mom for permission to use any of that money because she immediately put an embargo on my refund, saying it all needed to go towards the car. I transferred $200 for early shopping and a few days before Valentine's Day. A few days later, I checked my bank account and all but $50 was gone. I called my mom to ask what happened. She told me I needed to listen to her, that her words were final, and that I couldn't be trusted with my own money. She also blew up at me for moving in with my dad, long story there, and implied that I should be paying the full $900 per month myself. Am I the cheeks for wanting to open a new bank account at a different bank? OP, honestly, I'm giving you a 0 out of 10 cheeks. What you did there was completely justified. I'm giving your mom 8 over 10 cheeks because it's not cool to steal from your kids.
If you enjoyed these stories, like, comment, and subscribe to support the channel. This is Xaynew Stories, and I'll see you on the next one.